All right, here I am. We are actually on the Mount of Olives. Behind us, you'll see Jerusalem. I wanted to give you a quick recap of what yesterday involved. We got up in the morning, took a boat ride out to the Sea of Galilee. Pretty awesome boat ride out there. Had a sermon out there in the middle of the sea, and then came back to shore. Weather didn't permit us to go all the way to the other side, but came back, got in the bus, and then we drove through the Valley of Armageddon. We went and saw the site where Gideon had his army drink from the brook, and God narrowed them down to those that used their hand to bring the water up to their mouth. Very interesting sight. It rained there. Then we drove from there to Nazareth, and it rained while we were in Nazareth, so we weren't able to get out of the bus. But we drove by Mary's house and some other sites there in Nazareth, and then we drove back through the Valley of Armageddon and headed over to Mount Carmel, where Elijah called down fire from heaven to consume the sacrifice, and got to see that site. That was pretty neat there. Had lunch up there on Mount Carmel. Then from Mount Carmel, we headed back through the Valley of Armageddon and drove over to Caesarea by the Sea, there on the Mediterranean Sea. Got to see Herod's amphitheater there and the Hippodrome and several sites there. Then we drove from there and got to see an aqueduct system. Zach and I got to climb up in there, and that was quite fun as well. Don't know that was appropriate, but it was fun. And then we also got to see a thorn bush, and we actually got to make different crowns of thorns from the bush that was probably used, that type of thorn, to make the crown of thorns for Jesus. Then we left there and we drove about 2 hours back to Jerusalem, which is where we are now. So take a quick look to see what you'll hear about tomorrow.
Yeah.